50-point boost in 30 days. That's right. We had an individual who just wrote in about their spouse, about themselves, about this getting to the other side process. Yes, here we are. I'm going to put my email address in here as it gets going and talking and answering the questions on the live stream. Individuals might put their questions in there and I might miss a question or two. So I want to make sure that I get your questions answered, and you can email me to do that if I were to miss your question. But please put your questions here. Now, 50-point boost in 30 days. Is it possible? Yes. Individuals talking, hey, I'm excited. Okay. My husband's scores went up 48 points in 30 days in the first round of letters. Okay. So 48 points, 50 points, real close, right? 48 points in the first round of letters. You know that these bureaus are holding down your scores with these negative, nasty, erroneous, unverified accounts. This individual saying, hey, credit score is going up 30 days. Maybe yours will be a bit quicker. Maybe yours will take a little bit more time to get those 50-point boosts, right? So you're like, hey, 50-point boost, can I do it in 30 days? Potentially. Yours might be a little quicker. Yours might be a little longer. Just depends on what's going on with your credit. Now, this individual was able to get negative, nasty, erroneous items off of their spouses, their husbands' credit reports. They're also looking to get negative, nasty, erroneous items off of their credit reports, okay? So this individual said, hey, my husband was all good, but me, I got a postcard from TransUnion saying, hey, my address, proof of address was unacceptable. What the heck's going on, man? I sent a driver's license, social, notarized. What's going on? It's a stall tactic. You very much so can tell this is a stall tactic because the husband is getting negative, nasty, erroneous, unverified items removed, getting a 50-point boost in 30 days, and the wife here is dealing with some proof of address nonsense, mumbo jumbo, even though they sent the same letters at the same time for their respective credit reports. So you know this is nonsense. So yes, you can send the submitted information that they're looking for, maybe utility bill or whatnot, with your next round of letters. And being able to get this squared away within 30 days changes people's lives. I'm telling you, people who were, look, if you're sitting at 600, you could be at 650. If you're at 650, you could be at 700. That's massive. Being able to do that for yourself, change your life, is paramount, because then you can go from, I actually got another message just yesterday. An individual went from the 400s to 700s, used to rent, now owns a home, used to have, a regular vehicle like most of us drive, now has a luxury vehicle and is paying less in interest. Okay. I'm not saying that you have to go out and get certain things, right? I'm not saying you have to get the home or the car if that's not what you're looking for. Maybe you look for business credit, which we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about business funding. We're going to talk about that. Maybe you're looking just to have it when you're ready to go, as available when you want. Maybe it's to travel like I did. Maybe it's to start the businesses. Whatever it is that you're looking for, it is there for you. Okay. It's not working against you. So you want to do this now, 609creditrepair.com, or we can do the work for you at theawesomelifegroup.com. I'm telling you, I'm going to put these email addresses in here again, and you can email me. I'm putting my, put my websites and email address in here again, and you can get us to help you out as well at theawesomelifegroup.com. We can help you out. Okay. I've got questions here as well. I've got questions here as well. Got a good stack of questions. Individuals emailing me on the daily. Actually was up early getting through these emails. Okay. I want to remove hard inquiries. Absolutely. A lot of individuals go into these car dealerships and they are running the credit a bunch. Why would the car dealerships do that? Why wouldn't they just pull from one credit report and get you some good financing and with one good bank? Or, hey, we have a good relationship with this bank, or we actually know that this bank over here does well. They're in the business of doing finance every day. How is it that they need to run your credit 20, 30, 40, 50 times? The idea here is so they can run your credit down so you can barely get approved for a loan, and they can mark up that loan and they can make extra money on this deal. The car is a product that they can utilize to sell financing. The car is a product, like the house is a product. They can sell money financing. Okay. They're renting you money. This is the difference. This is why purchasing something outright and owning it, okay, your credit score allows you to rent money, to lease money, to borrow money at a lower rate. So you're saying, hey, I'm going to buy a home. You're renting money. You're leasing money. That's what's going on. You're renting from spending your cash. Now you're renting and spending someone else's cash, right? But you're doing so at an interest rate. Do it at a lower interest rate. We have a better credit score. You can do that. I'm not opposed to that. I think it's a great idea, especially, and again, I'm not giving you any financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I think it's a great idea to be able to do that. A lot of people are saying, hey, look, I want to move from renting to quote unquote owning, but I've got to get a loan. Is that okay? Well, hey, it's not a bad idea, because let's say your interest rate on a loan, and yes, I have seen 2.1% on an interest rate for an individual who got it through, and again, check your local credit union or whatever, but they got it through a specific credit union, 2.1% for a home, because their credit was strong enough. And now that 2.1% on this home, instead of paying cash for a home, they can now invest that, and maybe they can get 5% back, 10% back, 15% back. Who knows what they can do and invest. And now their investments are boom, 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 potentially helping pay off that loan, buying other things, right? So I'm not saying don't do it. Just do it the right way. Get the interest rate that you're looking for. Get the home that you're looking for at the terms that you're looking for. And your credit score is going to make the difference. So I'm telling you right now, so you can boost your score. An individual actually said, hey, look, I got a question here. Okay. When is a good time to start with my credit? How long does it says how soon when something starts on the credit report that's negative, do I have to wait to dispute this? You can dispute now. If you're looking at something negative on your reports right now, today, you can dispute this today. Unverified negative items today, okay? You can take care of this. And please feel free to put your comments below if you're watching the replay and ask your questions on the replay. You can put your questions here in the live chat and I'll get to them. And absolutely help you get to the other side. 609creditrepair.com. We can do the work for you at theawesomelifegroup.com. Hello to everybody who's coming in. I appreciate it. Tracy and Miss Libra, Soul, and Jonathan, and Blackbeard Dave. Good to see everybody here once again. All right. So another individual actually said, hey, look, I just recently moved. Should I add my new address? Should I change that? Yes, I can help you disassociate from all negative, nasty, erroneous items. And so you're moving forward. You're disputing these collections, you're disputing these charge-offs. What is it? I want to start a business. I want business funding. I want business credit. How do we do it? Absolutely. So not only do we have a program at ALG, hold on, I'm going to type this in, ALG Business Credit. .com for business credit. So we have a builder to build business credit with no personal guarantee. You got to start with your net 30s or net 45s or net 15s or net 7s or whatever they might be, right? Net 90s. It's just different terms for each vendor. The vendor will usually set the terms. Okay, we'll do, you got to pay us in 45 days or 30 days. Or, when we have a Pitney Bowes, when we're dealing with Pitney Bowes, they have credit line increases, bang, 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 and we pay every month, but even though the terms are 30 days, we have lines of credit that extend. And so once that gets reported to our, and we watch our stuff, and it's probably easiest for you to watch your stuff at NAV. Okay. So nav.com is a good way to be able to see all your business credit reports. And so you're saying, okay, so I've got my business credit reports. I'm looking at them. I got my DUNS number, all this good stuff. What is it that I'm looking to build? These vendors first, okay? Vendors. So you're thinking, okay, how many vendors? I got 5 vendors, 6 vendors now. So I'm moving up. Yes. So now you're looking at store cards, okay? So you got the Dun & Bradstreet, business risk grade. You've got your business. Now, FICO does have a small business scoring service. Okay, they call it the SBSS. Okay, FICO, small business scoring service. You got Equifax, Experian, business risk grades as well. Okay, so you also want to make sure, even prior to getting your store cards, because we saw this happen. So store cards like Dell, we utilize Dell and Apple and all these store cards and whatever it might be. Make sure your SIC codes are correct. You're in the right industry. If they've got you classified incorrectly, which could be a problem because they see you as maybe high risk, and it's like, that's not my business. We saw that. Or if they have your employees wrong, or if they got your years of business wrong, certain things can hold you back from certain vendors and store cards. They say, oh, well, you haven't been in business a year. And you're like, hold on, I've been in business 2-3 years. It's wrong on my reports. So nav.com is a good way to look at stuff. And a lot of people don't know that you got Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, Equifax, and FICO. And they all have their own business risk grades and scores. And, so this is actually very surprising that, I was surprised when I found out about it a few years ago that FICO had one. And a lot of business loans a lot of business funding can use that. And I'll actually put nav.com here for you. Okay. We help you walk you through the process of getting up to your vendors, your store cards, and then to your cash cards. Okay. The idea here with the cash cards is that they're giving you basically corporate credit. Corporate credit. Corporate credit. Okay. It's a little different than small business credit. You can actually look at some of the things. If you went to like an Amex or whatever and saw that they have small business and they have corporate. The idea is corporate is, yes, perhaps it's similar. It's a cash card. It's got to be paid off 30 days, but you personally are not held responsible. And of course, any business card, any good business line of credit is not going to be on your personal. Okay. There are some out there that are on your personals, so don't utilize them, right? There's a Cap One Spark. Okay. That unfortunately is on the personal. It goes on the personal. You can do what you want, but just letting you know that goes in personal. I would recommend something else, right? Other business cards that don't go in personal, because that can screw up your utilization. And I saw it, and saw that, and it's not good. It's not good. It's unfortunate. Wish I could recommend that, but hey, you have to do what works best for you. But if you're moving forward, if you're looking for business credit, algbusinesscredit.com, we can help you with that. We actually integrate our information and pull from NAV as well, so we can look at all your reports, your DUNS number, your FICO score, all your business reports. Okay, and a lot of times you'd be surprised there's inaccuracies on those too. The dispute process for business is a little different. Business credit is a little different. Okay, Fair Credit Reporting Act is for consumer side, so it's a little different, and it can be a little bit murky. If you have not seen a business credit report, sometimes it can be a bit more clandestine almost, right? They're holding secrets back. It's not, they sometimes won't tell you what the trade line is or what it is. You're like scratching your head. What is this? We had to correct some inaccurate stuff as well. I'm like, what the heck is this? So yeah, so pain in the butt, but worth it. I'm telling you, definitely worth it. Okay. Do you recommend a DUNS number, Dun Bradstreet? Yes, the DUNS number is good. Actually, there's a way. All right. Let me keep a free DUNS on. Okay. Get the free DUNS, son. Let me see. So you can get a DUNS. Oops. Trying to get this thing for you. You can get a DUNS. Sometimes they'll try and call you. Okay. And they'll say, oh, well, you get the DUNS, yeah, sure, but we want to put you in this credit accounts, or we can help you get this credit, and they want to charge us up. You only have to get the DUNS number. You can get it for free as well. Get it Dun & Bradstreet. It is important to do. Now, of course, you got to have the actual entity. I can't give you any legal or tax advice, but usually a corporation, you get the EIN, get your corporation, your LLC, that kind of stuff, limit your liability, whatnot. Then you get a DUNS number, nav.com, start building these vendors, start building these store cards. You can get this business credit up, and you can get business funding. That's the other thing. Now, if you're looking at, hey, well, you know what? I need to start things now. I really don't. I'm not generating anything right this second. Hey, I started the same way. Business funding, business credit cards, business used my personal guarantee, had good credit, and utilized it that way. There's nothing wrong with that. You start off, a lot of these cards have 6 months to 18 months, no interest to help you get started, rocking and rolling. And it's important. It's important you're able to start your own business. Many individuals know and have a talent in an area that they can utilize and basically commodify and monetize. Okay. So you can do this as well. Many people are doing it, and you're saying, hey, hey, business credit, you can utilize it. All right. TransUnion has not responded at all. You can send your non-response letters, and you can file your complaints with the CFPB. Don't let them not respond to you. All right. What do you do when you send your disputes letters in a card company or collector sends just statements. All they do is send statements. That's not enough. You can send your next round of letters. You can dispute. You can file your complaints. This is interesting. So some people are talking about, hey, Pitney Bowes. I don't see this on my DUNS. Doublechecknav.com. Check all your reports. Call Pitney Bowes to see where they're reporting and why or where they're not reporting. It actually might be on your reports. I'm not sure if you're looking at your Dun & Bradstreet report. Talking about your DUNS number. Look at the report and see what's going on there. Hey, are they going to extend us getting our free credit reports every 7 days? From what I can tell right now, hold on one second. Let me just double check this. During the pandemic, access to your credit is important. That's why Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are continuing to offer free weekly reports. It doesn't have a time when they're ending that. So it seems like right now, during these unprecedented times, access to your credit is important. That's why Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are continuing to offer free weekly credit reports. So as far as I can tell, right now, I'm not saying it's going to go on forever, but for right now, it seems like it's going to go on without any, indefinitely, right? So it's just going to keep going on. So my guess is it'll keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going until finally we're outside of this situation. Okay. On charge accounts, do you recommend paying them off each month? Charge accounts. So you have credit cards, charge cards, and your installment loans, right? Charge cards are a little bit different than revolving credit cards. Revolving credit cards, you can take the balance over every month. You can pay your minimum, you can pay a statement, you can pay an amount, and then you're rolling over. If it's a charge card, it is designed that way to be paid off every month. So do you recommend paying them off each month? Yes, you pretty much have to. Now, there are some programs with Amex and certain charge cards that they allow you to pay overtime balances and whatnot. I don't necessarily recommend that. The interest rates are really high. And typically, unless you really have to, it's best to be paying your cards off pretty much monthly anyway. It's going to help you boost your score and keep it and maintain it pretty high. Just make sure you're utilizing them as well. Okay. I've seen it for myself, if I'm not using my 3, and yeah, I've seen it. I've seen my scores fluctuate even with good credit. They really want these companies really are designed to get you to utilize the credit and be paying in credit and all that stuff. Not necessarily the interest, but they want to see stuff going through that. They're not in the business of not doing business, right? So they need customers, they need consumers. The banks are their customers, we're the consumer. Ray Dade. Yes, you can send your second round of letters. Hey, Darius. I was up early this morning doing the emails. I got your emails, Mr. Darius Smiles. Yes, I emailed you back about your eviction. And yes, you can dispute this thing. Huh. Man. Daily. I was told at the car dealership that hard inquiries don't impact credit score. Is this true? No, that is not true. Hard inquiries can impact your credit score. People are very much so aware that hard inquiries can impact your credit score. Many in this case, either this person is outright lying to you or they don't know. But yes, hard inquiries do impact your credit score. If you get a bunch of hard inquiries, if you get one hard inquiry, it can bring your credit score down 3-5 points. If you have good credit and you get a hard inquiry, maybe on one report, right? On that one report, it might bring your score down 3-5 points if you have good credit. Maybe a little bit more, maybe a little less. Okay. If your credit is not the strongest, not the best, and you get a hard inquiry on my credit report, on that credit report, it might go down, 5, 10, 15, 20 points. Like it could be even more, depending. If you go in a car dealership and they run your credit a bunch with all the bureaus and all these banks, your credit score is going to come down. They'll try and tell you all sorts of things. Oh, well, it'll be viewed as like one hard inquiry because you're shopping all at once. And they'll tell you all sorts of things. They're full of nonsense. They're trying to make this sale. They're trying to make money off of you and your credit. That's not how it is, okay? Oh, sure, John. I haven't talked about this in a while, but have talked about this in the past. Okay. Home mortgage credit reports. Okay. So, why would mortgage reports? Why would they use 2, 4, and 5 FICOs? 2, 4, and 5 reports. Okay. So, FICO 2, FICO 4, and FICO 5. Okay. Mortgage lenders pull from each compiled reports, get residential mortgage information. Okay. They're not using maybe FICO 8 and FICO 9 and all this stuff. Okay. And FICO 9 it's a newer version. It's not widely used, but FICO 8 is the most common. It's used cards, bank cards, loans, auto, stuff like this. Okay. FICO 5, FICO 4, and FICO 2 are used by mortgage lenders. 5 by Equifax, 4 by TransUnion, 2 by Experian. And you can take a look on your FICO reports, okay? Now, why the older models? Well, basically, they have to be compliant with Freddie Mae and Fannie Mac. They have to be federally compliant. The older models are easier for them to utilize, okay? So you can look at your auto loans. You can look at your bank card loans, FICO. You can look at mortgage, all on myfico.com. They tell you, okay? They're not dramatically different usually. If you've got good credit, you usually got good credit across the board. They might fluctuate a little bit. They weigh things a little differently. Their algorithm might be a little different because they're a little bit older. But oftentimes, if you've got a good FICO 8, you've got a really solid 2, 4, 5. Okay. This is why I say, if you can invest on myfico.com, it's going to be helpful. Because if you're going for a home and you're thinking, my credit score is X, Y, and Z, it actually might be a little bit better, a little bit fluctuation than what you think, which might actually help you long term. Okay. This individual, hey, David E says, Brandon, I got my student loans off TransUnion score. My score is now 818. Excellent. All right. Appreciate it. Dave E, congrats. David E. Okay. He's been part of the tribe. Been here for a good long while. Got his student loans off of TransUnion. His credit score now 818. This is fantastic. You could do this. You could potentially be next. You might be the next person to be able to do this. 609creditrepair.com, or we can do the work for you at theawesomelifegroup.com. Okay. Put my contact information in here as well. All right, D. Lee. Okay, this is not legal advice. This is just this person's information. But D. Lee says, hey, man, I had taken your advice. I was able to take the collector to court after calling me after I told them and sent them a letter. No more phone calls to cease and desist. Utilizing this type of this type of information, these types of violations, to get these negative, unverified, erroneous accounts off of them. Okay, this is the type of stuff, okay, you can do. I guess, it's not legal advice, but it's just open this person's discussion here. So wanted to let you know they were able to utilize a lot and get a lot of these unverified collections out of there. Okay. Let's see here. It says we move in questions. Your boy Diesel says that's my name too, David E. All right. I'll email you soon. Sounds good. I'll let you know what's going on with my credit. All right. Okay, so Roman says, hey, I used the letters. My score went up. Okay. But a couple of these closed accounts. Okay, so are the closed accounts negative? If they're closed and they're positive, you can leave them alone. They've got good positive history. Okay. If they're like charge-offs or collection or something, yes, you can dispute them. You can get them out of there. If you need our help, yes, we can help you at theawesomelifegroup.com, Roman. All right. Oh, yes, you can send your dispute letters for the medical collections as well to the bureaus. Okay, so you can add medical collections to 609 dispute letters. You can put medical, unverified account, no contract for your medical stuff. You can also send your collection validation letters to the collectors. Okay, and if it's a medical collection and you send it to the collectors and they send you, yes, information about your medical stuff, and they don't have a signed HIPAA release to be able to do that. Some people are like, oh, they're showing me I got MRIs and certain treatments, and I got, this, that, and the third, CPT codes, and whatever it is, and they don't have that signed HIPAA. That could be a potential HIPAA violation. You can leverage these violations using the HIPAA letters and dispute these items out of there. Get these medical collections out of there. It's very interesting. I've seen an individual who actually got a letter from one of the collectors, and they tried to send a HIPAA release after the fact to try to get them to sign so that they could see these records. And so, yes, they know they're trying to get over. These collectors are trying to get over. So don't let them get over on you, okay? And use Goodwill letters for closed off, paid off loan with a few late payments. Yes, you could do Goodwill letters for that, especially since, you're done with this, it's in good standing. They're pleased, you're pleased, it's all good. Yes, I've been in that scenario where I've done that. I've also sent some late payment dispute letters for that as well on top of it, and then disputed with the bureaus as well. It's okay to do both. And a lot of people say, well, hold on. I'm sending unverified and this and that, but I'm also sending Goodwill letters that might be like, hey, I'm in good standing. Can you go ahead and do this? You can do it. You really can. It's okay. I've seen it. I've done it. I've had other people do it. We can do this. You can do this. Okay. Original creditor sold the account, but still reporting a balance owed. Donna, if there's a balance with the collector, okay, so they sold the account right here. There's a collector, right? I'm assuming that it hasn't say specifically there's a collector, but I'm assuming they sold the account. There's a collector. There's a balance still on there. If that's the case, there's a balance with the charge off and there's a balance with the collection. They're not supposed to, one of those balances is not supposed to be there. Okay. Specifically the one with the original creditor. So you can complain to the CFPB. You can let them know. You can let them know your rights, and you can leverage that to get this item deleted. Okay. Let's see. Yes, late payments and closed student loans and all this, your boy Diesel consolidation loans, and you can dispute with the bureaus. Yes, you can. Okay, you can dispute directly with the bureaus. But something you can also do is, like you're saying, hey, can it freeze Lexington, SageStream, ARS, CoreLogic? You can actually pull those reports as well, see what's on them. If there's negative items on there as well, you can dispute directly with them. You can freeze them, and you can dispute with them as well. Okay. Got a charge off. Yes, that will hurt your score. Absolutely. You can dispute this as well. Perhaps you're coming in a little bit later. Make sure to hit that subscribe, try button, that bell for notifications for when I go live and all this good stuff. But yes, you can get the letters, 609creditrepair.com. You can dispute them. We can help you with it. All right. Yeah, a lot of times these student loans will look like they look like separate loans because of the distribution, like the disbursement dates. It was consolidated into one loan. You can dispute these old, obsolete, outdated loans that are negative and there. It's consolidated loan. I don't know if it's positive. It doesn't say. But if it is, you might leave it alone because if it's positive, it's helping your score. If not, yeah, you can dispute these negative unverified accounts. So regular dispute letters as well as those for specific late payments? Yes, you can send both. You could send 609 dispute letters, put unverified late payments. You can use the late payment dispute letter on top of that. Yep, and send that as well. And you can send Goodwill letters. Now, this is one of the few times where it almost feels like disputing it twice, but there's also, so on our dispute letters, 609 dispute letters, it also disputes in general non-account holding inquiries, and you can send specific non-account holding inquiry dispute letters on top of that. So those are okay to do. What you don't want to do is you wouldn't want to send like charge-off, collection rate, like all these other negative items. The reason why the late payment's a little bit different is because sometimes with the 60-day, 90-day, 30-day, 40-day, you'll have multiple late payments. With a charge-off, you're disputing one charge-off, one collection. So with the late payments, you have multiple. So it's not like disputing 2-3 times this one account. You're disputing this late payment, that late payment. So then they have to start looking at all these specific late payments. So it's a little bit different. Same thing with the hard inquiries. You have all these hard inquiries. It's not one, and then you're disputing 2-3 times with this one. So it's a little bit different. These are the types of things that we calculate for you and do for you at theawesomelifegroup.com. Okay. Junior, I'm using your service now, and my score went from 500s to 700s. All right. I have a question about credit utilization. Does this mean I shouldn't pay them all off? How does this work? Okay. So, all right. So, credit utilization. Okay. I've even seen this myself, paying it all off every month. I recommend this because it's easier. It's easier for me. Can I stay in the 800s? Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I'm in the 800s for doing that. However, yes, my score does fluctuate up considerably, sometimes 10 to 20 points, considerably from utilizing it and paying it off every month. Every month. Every month. Okay. Sometimes it's 4 or 5 points up, 4 or 5 points down, 20 points up, 20 points. It just depends on, what I'm paying, the balances and stuff like that. There's an other notion out there that don't pay it off every month, right? Pay it close to the end, right? Keep 1%, 2%, and so. But I don't like doing that because it's a little bit more work for maybe a few more points. Yeah. So it's like, oh, okay, well, instead of going from 814 to 800 to 820 to 825, these strange fluctuations, it would maybe be a little bit more constant, be like 815 to 820, 815, 812, 815. Also, the risk of potentially having any interest charge or forgetting or something like that. This doesn't feel that appealing to me. Now, if you're in that situation and you're like, hold on, every point counts, I'm going for a mortgage right now or a car note or something like that, then potentially, hey, maybe you don't pay it off precisely all every month. You leave 0.5% or 1% of your balance on there. I don't necessarily recommend that. I'm just letting you know it's a strategy that could be utilized. But yes, and sometimes when you see things, you're like, oh, why's that going down? Sometimes paying things temporarily, your score might come down, but it will come back up. I know this by going through this process and seeing other people do this, paying off their cars and their homes and stuff like that. Individuals like, oh, I paid off my loan, it came down a little bit. A couple months later, boom, right back up. So it's a strange, odd, algorithm, but it's utilized to keep people using it, keep people consuming, and that kind of stuff. So it is what it is. But it can be helpful if you know the game. If you know how to utilize it, it's very powerful. Donna Park says, your letters work great. I got all unverified accounts removed from TransUnion Equifax. And now we're just working with this experience stuff. Yes, absolutely. I imagine they're going to follow suit as well. Okay. Um, I saw it personally for myself. I would say some bureaus are taking off these negative, nasty, erroneous items quicker, some are a little bit later. It just kind of is what it is with the territory of some of these bureaus. Sometimes it's somebody's is TransUnion, somebody else's Equifax, but everybody will get to the other side. And this individual is doing great. All unverified accounts removed from TransUnion Equifax. That's fantastic. Keep up the good work. Stay with it. I know sometimes it's a pain when they're playing games, but filing the complaints, the AG is available to you. CFPB, no legal advice, but the courts are open to you. That kind of stuff. It really is. It really is sticking with it. You can do it. Absolutely. Okay, is there any way to dispute this? Sonia says, hey, got a dismissed bankruptcy. Okay, filed paperwork, but I never went through with it. Dismissed, yes, it's different. It's not discharged. There's probably not an actual date of adjudication or order of relief. Okay, and again, this is not any legal advice because this is going to the bureaus. But you can utilize this information in the bureaus. We have special dismissed bankruptcy letters, and it talks about that stuff that I just talked about and says, hey, it isn't clear. It's not considered to be in existence in the eyes of the law anymore, and you need to get rid of it. How can you maintain something that doesn't even exist without a proper order of relief date? It may not have been adjudicated properly, all that stuff. Okay, so if you need help, 609creditrepair.com. We can do the work for you at theawesomelifegroup.com. All right. Right. So collection is currently in dispute. So it just means they're looking into it. And once they finish their investigation, they will let you know, right? Typically, you're going to get a report in the mail. This is another thing. If you're getting your reports online and they're trying to send them to you online, you don't have to accept them online. We have a special letter for that. It says, maybe you did accidentally sign up for something online. They're trying to email you to get these results online. I noticed I didn't like doing that because one, I wasn't getting stuff in the mail anymore to keep records, so I would have to print them, and it would look differently. It didn't look like official record. Like it looks different when you're printing them. So I was like, I don't like this. But back in the day before I knew anything, they did email me as well. They're like, hey, you can get your results faster and blah blah blah. So I tried it for a minute. It's not. I don't think it's good. They're not sending stuff in the mail. There's no real record of it. They're saying they're putting it online. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. It isn't. I've seen it. So don't recommend it. But there is a letter out of that. There is a letter to have them send everything in the mail. So you're like, oh, maybe I signed up for this, or I don't want this service, or you sign me up for this service, or whatever it might be. You need to send everything in the mail now. Okay. And I've sent everything certified, and you need to send everything in the mail. And so we need to get this squared away. And they have to comply. It's not, it's your rights, right? It's not an option for them to say, oh, well, we want to, no. You need to send it in the mail. Okay. Your boy Diesel, my FICO score is 670, 719, 721, all three bureaus, currently 0%, utilization of 13,000 and an available credit. That's excellent. Okay. Your boy Diesel, what's the difference between going for the full dispute of a loan or whatever it might be versus just like payments? Typically with just like payments, you in current good standing now, you have a lot of good positive history in the past. Going after something full item, trade line, or a few full line of credit, usually it's because it's in really bad standing. It's a charge off or it's a collection or what have you. That's really not going to come back to a positive status, and or is something that wouldn't ever be positive, right? So collection will never be positive. Okay, it can't come back to that positive status. It never was and never will be positive. Okay. All right. Thank you. Be in touch soon. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. I appreciate everyone for being here. Okay. I'm excited. I truly believe my score will be rising. My credit will be improving so I can get funding, possibly start my own business. That's right, Roman. That's right. You're doing great. Stick with it. These other individuals here as well. Thank you. Let's see. Letters work. Excellent. All right. Brandon looks like he was in the military. I was in the Army Reserve 8 years. I enlisted when I was still young. I was very young. But yes, I was in the Army Reserve. Probably would have gone active duty had I not had 2 knee surgeries, a hip surgery, and really have a tough time. I had a tough time. Yeah, I was collapsing out of my bunk, trying to get out of my bed and collapsing the ground. And that was a very difficult, trying time. If you're going through difficult, trying times right now, okay, you can turn it into a positive. It is possible. I remember those times being like, man, what's wrong? And now I get to help you guys. Now I get to help people get to the other side. Now I've created a business turning people's lives positive. Okay. It wasn't my path to be in the military, I guess, right? So I had to choose something else. And I'm glad that I'm here to be able to help facilitate and do these things. Sometimes I do think about it, like, man, you know, I thought I was like, oh, I'll travel and, you know, it'd be pretty cool. I don't know. It's probably better that I didn't go that route. But yes, I did serve this country, and I'm very glad I did get to serve. At least I did get to do what I got to do. So thank you. I used letters in the first round. All right. Investigating the issue. What do I do to get okay? First round letter. I sent the second round. They tell me that right. Oh, okay. Yeah. So okay. So they're pretending. Okay, so you send your first round of letters. They want to send back second round. They say, "Oh no, we're not going to investigate. We have a demand to investigate letter." It's very specific on the verbiage because it quotes specific precedent, okay, for the bureaus where they have to do a reasonable investigation and why and when. They try to get around it. They try to pretend like they're not going to, but they do and they will and they have to. We've seen this happen before. I've seen it. It's a smokescreen. Oh, I thought, oh man, when I first started, I was like, oh no, they're not going to invest. They will. And I still got deletions out of that. Okay. So you can do this. 609creditrepair.com. We can do the work for you at theawesomelife.com. Okay. All right. I'm going to put my email addresses in here again. Sites in here again, 609creditrepair.com. theawesomelifegroup.com and email address. All right. So, really appreciate being here on the live streams, on the weekends, on these Saturdays with you. Hit that subscribe, try button, and that bell for notifications so we can keep doing this. Please give the video a thumbs up. If you're watching the replay, give the video a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, right? I love you all so very, very much. If you have any other comments, questions, you're watching this now, you're like, hey, man, I'm watching the replay, put your comments below. You can email me. You can get to the other side. We can help you. We've seen people do it. We have individuals here talking about getting 50-point boost in 30 days. The letters getting them into the 700s. Our, company helping them get to the other side. We appreciate you all so very much. I love you all so very much. And until I see you in person, I will see you on the other side. Take care.